Hello, everyone, and we are live. Welcome to the live stream of the Empowerment Club. Elvira Burns here, your coach, DJ, the founder of the Empowerment Club, the online coaching platform where we become our best versions. The objective of our live streams is to bring free coaching to the online audience and encourage them to join Empowerment Club online program to lead a more successful, happier, and healthier life. And while we're at it, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell not to miss our next videos. We appreciate your support and helping us bring free mind coaching to as many people as possible. Our live stream today is dedicated to sports performance breakthroughs. So welcome to the Empowerment Club. It is a movement to master stress and confidence, to a path to feeling great. You work hard to manifest your dreams, but your stress holds you back. Now free yourself in the Empowerment Club. It is a unique in the world program. It's cutting edge. It's available 24/7 with your coach, which is me, vested in your improvement. Nobody else has a program like this, and I'm really excited to see you there. For the new guys, we are going through just the introduction so you can understand who we are and what we are all about. So in the online paid program, you have 52 weeks of weekly video lessons, daily audio meditation, daily work on your goals, coaching support and community by me and the online community. Our holistic solution, training the mind and body in stress awareness methods, understanding physiology of stress, understanding goals process, use the awareness techniques to optimize daily life and action taking, spend dedicated 12 months on a sustainable transformation, let go of past stress and become resilient to the new stress, take as many action steps towards our dreams as we can. Mind is our main objective of focus because confidence, mental strength, flexibility, happiness and success, sports and business performance all depend on our mind. We train the mind to become more aware, more open, more spacious, to control stress, to solve problems better, to improve creativity, boost your health and happiness, have better memory and enhance studies. Our life is an ocean of stress. Our body is built on stress response. Whatever our mind thinks, good or bad, has an effect on the brain. The brain generates brain waves of various speeds to support various mental activities. We can consciously, with our mind, regulate how we respond to stress. Our mind controls itself, and it also controls stress regulation through awareness. So, welcome to your club. Welcome to the online social part of it. You are here to learn to understand things about yourself, and I welcome you. Let me just check on the presentation. Somehow it got itself rewound. What happens sometimes with online systems, you upload, you prepare everything, and then you're faced with the fact that it may not be the right presentation. So just bear with me so I can make sure that I'm loading the right stuff. This is life, isn't it? Life is so when we expect something to go smoothly, and unfortunately, it does not. Okay, and we do have the previous presentation, so you have to please bear with me, and I'm going to have to upload the one that we should be going through today, which is sports performance. Okay, and we're in business, thank goodness. We are dependent on technology, just to remind you. So there's absolutely no need to be stressed. We're here in the Empowerment Club. We can take our time. You can pause the button. You can fast forward later on if you feel that you don't have time right now. It's all here for you to come back to. So if you have things to do, don't worry, you can come back to it. In the meantime, I will continue with the teachings and hope you enjoy it. So, sports performance breakthroughs, the path to feeling great. Our club is all about feeling great because that's actually the state of mind that we aspire for success. Life is stress, stress is life. This is our main motto because that's our basis for working with our mind and body. So, a little bit about myself, your coach. I am coming from the background of English linguistics, network and desktop IT engineer, acupuncture and Qigong, mind coach, personal meditation practice and philosophy studies, and research into mental and physical pain or stress. And you can find our platforms in two places, one for the global side, which is empowermentclub.online, and one specifically for the India market, which is empowermentclub.in. I look forward to welcoming you on both platforms. And yes, it is your club, and we want to offer you a discount to join. So all the links will be in the video below. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Our objectives for today, as usual, threefold: the coaching side, performance breakthroughs, meditation to release stress, and questions and answers if you have any. And you can always post them later as well. It doesn't mean that you have to post them now. I will come back to your questions later on and I will answer them in another video. So thank you. Empowerment is when you feel great. So don't forget, we're here, we've gathered here to be empowered, not the opposite. So we are searching, we're learning, we're practicing towards being powerful. And what we really can control is the mind power. That's where our main power resides. So let's revise some of our past important concepts because we are building on the previous lessons, which you can find on the channel in the playlist called Free Lessons. And I encourage you to watch them so that you can understand the train of thought, the stuff that we're building upon, and it's much easier for you to step into all of this. Stress makes us feel bad, disempowered. That's obvious, isn't it? So, two important reactions of stress response, which I always emphasize: it makes the breathing shallow and it tightens the muscles. This is always important to remember because both lead to oxygen and nutrient problems as they're meant only for short-term response only. And what do? We turn on stress response all the time, continuously, and we keep ourselves tense and deprived of oxygen. Power of mind relaxes muscles, improves breathing, and turns off excessive stress response. You come back to yourself in a better state of mind and body. Thoughts and emotions can stress us out because they directly activate our brain's stress response system, even when there's no actual danger in front of us. That means it's enough to think about something to activate the whole stress response. Your mind doesn't wait for life to stress you out. It can generate its own stress just by how you think about life. So you don't really need anything externally. You just have to have your own thoughts and emotions. Awareness training is to control stress response. What is awareness? It's the function of the mind that does the knowing and noticing. So right now you hear my voice, you see the presentation slides on the screen, you might be aware of tastes and in your mouth, and you might be aware of sensations on your skin and the thoughts in your mind. So that function, that agent, that part of your mind, that part of you that is aware, that is awareness, the part of you that knows and notices. Our mind can turn off stress by activating the body's rest and repair system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and calming the brain alarm centers, fight and flight sympathetic nervous system. So these functions are inbuilt in our nervous system, and we must learn to use them so that we optimize our life, work, and become happier, healthier, and more successful. Your success, happiness, and health fully depend on how well you can control your stress response. So, once again, you work hard to manifest your dreams, but your stress holds you back. Now, free yourself in the Empowerment Club. So, thank you for being here. You are already freeing yourself by learning how your mind and body functions. So, you're already here, part of the online social. Thank you. Good health is the result of continuous daily management of stress and other factors. And we do want to have good health, don't we? I'm sure we do. So on the channel, you will see the playlist called Free Lessons, and it contains various topics for you to take a look later. Now we move on to our main subject, which is sports performance breakthroughs. So apart from just me being very prepared and knowing my subject, I'd like us to have in mind that we're having a conversation and having fun, because learning is about having fun. When do we learn the best? When we're actually having fun and we're relaxed. When we're under pressure, body tightens, our oxygen becomes insufficient, and the entire chain of stress response has been activated, and we don't actually learn very well. So when learning is fun, it's relaxed, it's colorful, that's when we learn best. And this is what I'm aiming for, to entertain you while giving you a really, really important information. I am not a journalist, influencer, or a motivational speaker per se. I'm a mind coach, a TCM practitioner of acupuncture, and an educator, teacher, and I'm here to actually help you understand things. Of course, I would love to entertain you, because that way you will remember better. My special interest as a coach is confidence, letting go of PTSD and other fears, stress, limiting beliefs, meaning clearing them out, goal achievement, and performance. So, as you can see, performance is part of the goal achievement. Why would we be talking about performance? That means goal achievement. So every goal achievement has some kind of performance attached to it. Like, for example, right now, I am performing for you. I am on the spot, I am in the limelight, and I want to do well. And more so, I want to present information in a way that you will understand, you will like, you will resonate with, and actually you will learn. So the goal of my performance today is teach you something important, something you can use, and give you the understanding of how things work so you could apply them in your life. By being clear in my goals, I'm also releasing my stress in improving my performance. So if I know I'm here for you, and the most important thing for me is you, so that means I've taken attention off myself and put my attention onto you, on your benefit. And that's where the good stuff happens. Life is stress, stress is life. So life is stress. We are continuously put under various tests by doing all kinds of things in life. And also, life is unpredictable. So we never know where things come from. So the better we are trained in our awareness techniques, the better we are prepared to face it. And stress is life. Without having tension in the body physically, we are not alive. When the body is dead, there is absolutely no tension in it left. So when you feel tension, you can always think, thank goodness I'm alive. That's the sign of life. So we have to work with our tension and master it. Performance is stress, as we've understood already. Every time we are put on the spot, others are watching us, evaluating us. That's what's going to happen. Stress is going to happen. So the better we handle stress, the better will be our performance. That's guaranteed. That's 100%. There's absolutely no need to doubt this point. And it's good to actually know that stress is the key to performance, stress management. We're coming back to the yin and yang diagram, the unity of the opposites, the dynamic balance of the opposites, and the oneness of the opposites. So they're not separate concepts. Mental health and physical health are indivisible. So we cannot really divide mind and body. They're working together, they are stuck together for now. So we have the physiology, the body, and we have the mental factors, the mind. And that's important to differentiate these two for the sake of being able to work with them and for the sake of having a conversation and understanding about them. We must optimize and maximize our health and our life potential daily, and we've seen that in the presentation on in the lesson on health, which is the previous lesson. You can always go back and watch that one. We need to take responsibility for our body, mind, and energy. They are the most powerful healers, and no one else can do it for us. We are the owners of our body and mind, and we have agency to be responsible for ourselves. Still, the biggest point is how well we handle stress, and even how well we can recover from it. Unmanaged stress reshapes the body deeply over time, almost like it recarves the system inside out. So, obviously, if you've been stuck in stress or reached burnout, your body is going to not work optimally and not work in the best possible way as it got used to working under stress. And you are basically surviving in the emergency mode now because the body has wired itself up. The brain starts to wire up all kinds of connections for you to continue to function in the emergency mode. So, what do we have to do if we wired ourselves up? We have to unwire ourselves. So, that's actually the aim of the 52 weeks program. So over the course of 1 year, you can undo the damage, you can understand yourself better, you can work with your awareness, train it, let go of the past, become more resilient towards the future, and take actions boldly without fear. This is a very, very powerful way to work with yourself. Our primary focus here is how mind impacts performance. Why are we talking about this? Is because we have specific sports skills versus mental game skills. And what you typically hear with sports people when their mental game is lacking, they tell them, "Oh, you need to practice more." But the two are very different things. Just by being good at throwing the ball when you're by yourself, you can maybe throw it well the whole day. But as soon as you have a crowd watching you, that changes everything. So your attention shifts into the mental game skills. That means you need to train mental game. And that's why in this online program, as well as in the social extension of it on YouTube, we are talking and learning about the mental game skills because that's what's going to help you be the champion in anything you want, whether it's life or sports, whether you need to present to somebody or ask for a pay rise. This is when the mental game skills actually matter. And in the age of AI, where everything becomes computerized and digitalized, and you can already see the ads are coming out with without any humans, no human voice, no human faces, you become even more precious. Your mental game becomes even more important because you cannot compete with the computers on knowledge, but you can compete with them on your ability to decide what is right, what is wrong, what is appropriate or not. Train yourself to become confident and resilient and therefore smart and successful. That's going to be the key area of progress in the AI age. Stress management is really a form of wealth management because it protects the body, brain, and spirit, your true capital. So, even me, I am here, your wealth manager. At the same time, I'm enabling you, empowering you to become your own wealth manager, which is even better. Health is wealth, a state of abundance, having enough of what truly matters: energy, resilience, relationships, peace of mind, a foundation of resources, not only financial, but also physical vitality, mental clarity, and emotional balance. A capacity to thrive, the ability to pursue goals, experience joy, and contribute to others. A richness of life, not just in material things, but in freedom of opportunities, love, and fulfillment. And all of this is still linked to performance. That's why performance is such an important task, an important area to discuss. Sports skills are separate to mental flexibility, confidence, resilience, and toughness. So let's put them down because they depend on each sport, although they have some commonality. And we are having a delay on the network, I think. Limiting beliefs can be conscious from something that happened to you and you remember, and unconscious. You don't know where it comes from and why you have it. It just is. So we've gone over a little bit in the past over the limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs derail performance. Why we need to again discuss them, because you will come out on the field or in a Formula One car, and all your limiting beliefs are going to get loaded into your random access memory. You're going to remember everything that brings you down, and your performance will go down. So, to prevent that from happening, we need to clear and let go of emotional charge of past events or unconscious stuff in order to stop having limiting beliefs, to unblock our confidence. Obviously, it cannot be done by talking. It has to be done through meditative awareness training exercises where you are accessing deeper levels of yourself, of your consciousness at slower brain waves. That is what we do in the paid program. And that's why we have ample 52 weeks to work with ourselves, uncover, discover our stuff, and let it go. But that is the key. If you let go of all of these, you're gonna have clean, clear state of mind. So if you come out, you just do. That's what we want to do, actually. Performance is that. You come out and you're not being scared, you're not being burdened by anything. Letting go of trying to control every detail is the root of flexibility. Flexibility means embracing constant movement internally and externally. And we discussed this in the lesson, and we gave the analogy of a palm tree, hence my background of a palm tree, because that's to do with mental flexibility. You become angry, you get yourself back into joy. So you use joy to spring back. As the wind of anger is blowing, you go with it, but then you spring back with joy. So understanding that we can't control too much actually in our life, but we can control our own mind, our emotional response, is that what gives us flexibility. And knowing that everything is impermanent, things don't last, gives us the confidence to do this. So we need to learn to flow like a river around obstacles and to move like a palm tree in the wind. So actually, when people talk about being in the moment, that in fact what it really means: to flow like a river around obstacles and to move like a palm tree in the wind. And what happens with many athletes? They program themselves a week before, 2 weeks before, maybe 6 months before, and think that's how it's going to be on the day. And then they get disappointed because conditions change. Rain comes, wind comes, things come from the stuff they didn't expect. So Yes, expect certain things, but be in the moment on the day of your performance. Flow like a river around obstacles and move like a palm tree in the wind. Let's go over mental flexibility just a little bit because that's what everybody aspires for, craves, needs, demands, and talks about. It is the ability to adapt your thinking, emotions, and responses when circumstances change. Instead of clinging to one rigid way of seeing or doing things, you can shift perspectives, adjust strategies, and keep moving. Think of it like yoga for the mind. The more flexible you are, the less likely you'll snap under pressure. And we have discussed this in the past lessons that you need to familiarize yourself to look for changes. Don't look for stability, what doesn't change. Keep looking for changes in nature, in people, in your own face, in everybody around you. Keep looking for changes, familiarize with changes. Then you will know, you will get used to it. You'll get the habit of watching out for changes because that's really maximizing your potential. You have to find that little gap where you can slot yourself in and win because that's what performance is all about. But we will be discussing this a little bit more. This is a very exciting topic. Why it matters. Stress relief. Rigid thinking fuels stress. I must go this way or else. Flexibility opens more options, lowering pressure. Problem solving. You can see challenges from multiple angles and find creative solutions. Emotional balance. Instead of being trapped in one mood, you can shift state and recover faster from setbacks. Relationships. Flexibility lets you adjust to different people and situations without losing yourself. Performance and growth. Athletes, leaders, and innovators all rely on mental flexibility to pivot when things don't go as planned. So most of the time, I think things don't go as planned. And that's the importance of understanding what it means to be in the moment, which means you turn up on the day and you go with the flow. You have to be prepared to flow. And for that, you need to train. It just doesn't happen by itself. So awareness training, notice when your mind is stuck in one pattern through loop, assumption, must, should language, and use the techniques from our online program to let that go. Reframing, ask, what else could this mean? Or what another way is of looking at that? These are the questions that are open the mind and let you release some emotional charge so you can see past the narrowness of the current situation. Stress regulation, breathing, mindfulness, or physical movement keep the brain agile instead of locked in survival mode. So they assist you to calm down and see more and see a solution. Practice opposites. If you usually plan every detail, try improvising. If you're spontaneous, try structure. This strengthens adaptability. So again, we're going back to don't be stuck in a certain way. Watch, get used to change, flow with the change, bend like a palm tree, and that's what mental flexibility is. Micro challenges, small experiments, trying a new routine, changing routine, learning a new skill, build flexibility muscle. And that involves both mind and body, of course. So success depends on mental flexibility. Flow around obstacles, let the wind carry you, work with your nervous system, not against it. So big part of this is education. So you know what your nervous system does and doesn't do, what your brain does and doesn't do. I personally use my awareness all the time to find any and all limiting beliefs and lack of flexibility to make sure I let go of them so I'm not stopped by my own mind, because that's what's going to stop you the most. Let's define sports performance. Sports performance is the measurable execution of physical, mental, technical, and tactical abilities in a sporting context, aimed at achieving specific outcomes such as winning, improving personal bests, or demonstrating skill under competition or practice conditions. So that's a general definition. Usually assessed by. So performance is always something that gets assessed. That's why it is performance. Physical capacity, strength, speed, endurance, agility, flexibility. You get measured by others. Technical skill, the ability to perform sport specific movements with precision. Tactical understanding, decision making strategy, and situational awareness. Psychological factors: confidence, focus, motivation, stress management, resilience. So everyone actually is looking at the athletes and constantly measuring how confident they are, how focused they are, how motivated they are, how well are they able to manage stress and resilience. This is such a huge topic of the online discussions. And if someone can't do this, boy, do they get a ton lashing. Recovery and lifestyle, nutrition, rest, injury prevention, mental health. So, mental health is actually in the psychological factors. But anyway, we will go with the official version. Why is sports performance important? It's good to go over these concepts so we are kind of clear on what we are doing. Achievement of goals. So you see, once again, we can't get away from achievement of goals. Achieving goals is the very essence of this life. It allows athletes to measure progress, reach peak potential, and fulfill personal or team ambitions. Health and fitness. High level performance reflects good physical conditioning and can promote lifelong wellness. Well, that could be disputed, but we won't do this now. Mental strength, training and competing builds resilience, discipline, and the ability to perform under pressure. Well, yes, and again, we can dispute half of it. Entertainment and inspiration. For professionals, performance creates value for spectators, communities, and the sport itself. Yes, that definitely the money of the sport and the entertainment really depend on how well the sports people perform. Personal growth. Even outside elite levels, improving performance teaches us to have better focus and mastery of self. Well, on a big level, yes, it can do that, but mind is still supreme, and no sport can help us improve it. Only mind training itself can. Sports performance matters because it reflects the harmony of body, mind, and skill working together toward excellence. You see, these are all official definitions that people try to measure up to. These definitions were created by somebody, and we don't even know by who, but that's really a big point of stress, the harmony of body and skill working together towards excellence. Is it even true? Maybe. But can you feel how you get lost when you read all this stuff? And to tell you the truth, even the psychologists, which I don't really hold as authorities on much, tell that they cannot define mental toughness in sports, and they can't really solve, too many mind issues for the athletes. It's obvious. If you look at sports, when people can find a way, the athletes themselves can find a way to solve this, that's when the problem gets solved. But no amount of doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychotherapists, unless they possess the techniques, the keys to the mind, can help do any of that. And we will see that. Golf, cricket, F1, Formula One have the same things that plague athletes. Athletes are really plagued because it's their job. It's not a game anymore, it's a job. Shit, it's crashed. That is. Are we crashed or are we not crashed? Maybe we're not crashed, but what happens? Yes, pressure and stress. Pressure in sports, especially during tournaments, is a mix of psychological, emotional, and physical factors. This is what just happened. I clicked on the screen to go to the next slide, and the whole thing disappeared. So, because I do train my own mind, I made an exclamation, but at the same time, I immediately calmed down and came back to it. So I found the window. It helps. It definitely helps. You are the witnesses today. So, pressure in sports, especially during tournaments, is a mix of psychological, emotional, and physical factors. Many athletes, even experienced ones, struggle to handle it, and tournaments often amplify this due to personal stakes, peer pressure, and expectations, and many other factors. All sports are mentally demanding. When it is a team sport, then the pressure is of personal performance combined with a team performance. When it is a solo game, all responsibility is on one person. So here I try to combine different sports into one and just to generalize. But of course, different sports have their own slightly different angles. Pressure is always personal to every person involved, and it must be taken care of on the personal level. Success of a team is a combination of personal successes of every team member. So awareness needs to be trained and stress needs to be released by every team member or by the individual in an individual sport. Why pressure becomes overwhelming? High expectations. Athletes set unrealistic performance goals. Sometimes. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, of letting us oneself down, and others. Increased heart rate and tension. Under stress, breathing becomes shallow, hands shake, and muscles tighten, affecting the swing. So, our entire focus of the free lessons on the social side and the paid program is how can we manage this? How can we maximize our performance? Not just in sport, but in daily life at work, because the same thing will happen no matter what you do. You get stress, your breathing becomes shallow, your hands shake, your muscles tighten, and it doesn't matter whether you are playing cricket or you are driving a Formula One car or you are about to go into a meeting with your boss in the office, the same thing happens. Performance goes down, you're not your best version, you start to overthink, you have stress and worry, you're fearful, and things are not going to go as well as you would like to. So what to do with that is the objective of the program, is objective of this training. Overthinking. Athletes start overanalyzing their mechanics and other details, leading to paralysis by analysis. Because if you start to get tight, your brain starts to generate faster brain waves, so it encourages more thoughts to come. Tournaments have extra pressure since players know each other. There's added peer pressure, comparison, ego, and social anxieties. It's especially, known in golf tournaments because the people come out and they play in the club tournaments with their friends and they really want to win. Everybody wants to win. Everyone there wants to win and is worried how they can win. Why tournaments are especially hard, playing against friends and peers adds pressure to prove oneself. But as I'm reading this out, as we are contemplating this applies to everything. Adds pressure to prove oneself. When do we not want to prove ourselves to anybody, to our parents, to our friends, to our colleagues, to our friends and enemies? Reputation and ego. Many athletes want to maintain a certain status in their team. Inconsistent mental preparation. Pros practice pressure situations while others hope for the best. Crowds, intimate scrutiny in crowds, and playing in front of a few friends or members can feel even worse. Pace of play stress. Players worry about slowing down the group behind them, which increases tension. So that's applicable to golf because you have to keep moving. And if you're slower, then you are under pressure and people think they're inadequate and not good enough, and the chain reaction starts. How pressure affects performance. It's called choking in golf. Choking is a breakdown in performance due to stress. So golf is actually really precise about it, maybe more precise than any other sport. Tense grip and stiff swing leads to poor ball striking, but that's applicable to cricket and any other ball game. Shorter, rushed backswing causes slices, hooks, and misshifts. So obviously that comes from tension, and it's applicable to every sport that has similar functions. Overly cautious putting, or overly cautious playing, or overly cautious driving, or doing anything else because you're very tense. Players leave putts short due to a fear of missing. So overthinking simple shots, turning an easy 3-foot putt into a nightmare. So you would have seen, players standing there not far from the hole and still unable to reach the hole and getting increasingly more and more frustrated. And every sport has got their own little places like that where people could get stuck. Many amateurs perform worse under the pressure because they aren't used to competing regularly, while pros train under pressure deliberately, simulating final round scenarios in practice. And the more they train, actually, Max Verstappen is famous for that because that's what his father put him through. Deliberate pressure, simulating the worst possible situations, really torturing his poor son. But it ended up training him to do what he does now. The key areas of mental side for a cricketer are, so we are moving on to cricket a little bit more: focus, confidence, winner's mindset, belief in oneself, development of calm mind, stillness of the body, great teamwork. So these are all key points of how one can play a successful cricket game and be a winner. But this applies to everything else in life. I just want you to just take it in. That's really, really the recipe for success here on the screen in front of you right now. Focus, confidence, winner's mindset, belief in oneself, development of calm mind, stillness of the body, great teamwork. So all of these, if you can improve the mental game in all of these areas, that is going to lead to the sports breakthroughs. So there comes the topic of our today's conversation. Sports breakthroughs come from this. And this, being good at this, comes from training the mind. It's not going to happen by itself. Let's define confidence for cricket game, but applicable to others, applicable to other sports and overall. The key areas of mental side for a cricketer are: the player's mind is quiet and not analyzing the past and fretting about the future. The player is only concerned with what is happening here and now and able to keep refocusing on the here and now throughout the game. The player doesn't feel inferior to anybody as a human, as a nationality, doesn't identify with any painful background and past struggles, not affected by the crowd, not affected by the presence of other players, by a feeling fearful or inferior to them, or by thinking one cannot bat as hard or bowl as fast as someone else. So as I'm reading all these things, what comes to mind is the Australian cricket team. You could say they were bred that way in the society by not overthinking. They're not the type of people that overthink. They're very practical, just naturally confident people because they don't think too much. I'm actually taking this against them, that they don't think too much. Their mind is quite simple. Their mentality is quite simple. They don't think in a complicated way. The player's hands are not shaking excessively or their body being excessively rigid. There's enough arousal to do what one needs to do. Arousal meaning the stress response is just right, at the right level. There's motivation to do well and the ability to move on calmly if your action wasn't as perfect as you would have loved it to be. There are no active emotions and hostilities to the coaches and team players and others involved. I know it all sounds very much, to be desired and not sure can we achieve them. Well, yes, we can. We have Novak Djokovic, we have the Australian cricket team, we have all sorts of examples where people either have, trained themselves to be that way or grew up in the environment which is conducive to this, to being that way. So Australian society is probably the best society in the world because you do not feel inferior no matter what you have or you don't have, based on education, not based on education. The equality of everyone and respect for everyone is so inbuilt into this culture that it just leaves you no room for feeling inferior. So when you don't feel inferior, you don't generate those thoughts of being this or that. So that means you don't open extra apps on your phone or computer so that they clog up your memory and make the whole computer slow. But if you do load, I am not good enough, this is really going to test me, oh, my parents are watching and my country is watching, and will I be good enough? And as you do that, you're opening apps upon apps upon apps, and you become stiff, unbending, and you're not a palm tree anymore, you're a rock. So get back to the palm tree. Tattoo it on your forehead. Get back to the palm tree. We can remove the mental blocks through understanding of physiology and awareness training. So awareness training involves understanding of the mind and the techniques and applying them and practicing them and becoming better and better. So energy blocks are thoughts and emotions, past memories, perceptions, beliefs, future projections, conscious and unconscious, I have to add here. It doesn't matter because we can release them whether they're conscious or unconscious. Limiting beliefs can be conscious or unconscious. So conscious, you know what happened. Somebody said something bad in your childhood, and you still feel hurt. You feel still feel small. So that has to go, and it can't be gone unless you sit down and work with it with your awareness in the appropriate brain waves, so your body and mind work together and allow you to let this go. So example of limiting the beliefs. You can always pause this video and go over the concepts and read on the screen properly. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. I can't change my situation. I'm too young, old to start. I don't have enough time. I'm not talented enough. It's too late for me. I'm not smart enough. I always fail. I don't have the right connections. I can't handle rejection, pressure, or whatever else you can think. So there's so many here. I listed 25. I need to be perfect. That's always a good one. But perfection is actually a big topic in our online program. It has to go. Time is limited, life is short. If I'm going to worry how perfect I'm going to look, or how perfect my voice is going to sound, or if what's going to happen if I lose the screen or lose something on it, that's going to stop me from benefiting you properly. So instead, I'm going to focus how I can make sure that the lesson gives you everything you need to understand the topic. That's going to be much more productive. And if I do stumble, if I do lose the screen, if I use a swear word to find it back, that's just fine. Perfection is a sin. We don't need it. And it's stress. Why it's a sin? Everything that gives you stress is sinful. Just kidding. Young and old have had some share of bad events in their life, significant stress that created a block. So if you have had something significant that has created a block in you and left you angry or jealous or depressed for the rest of your life, you got to clear it, and you can. You can. So we have negative memories from childhood, parents, siblings, other family members, kindergarten, school time groups, universities, work experience, bosses, co-workers. So there's at least 28 areas that you can work with. Find all sorts of things that affected you, like deaths, illness, humiliation, losses, failures, accidents, aging, childbirth, anything in these categories. If some specific events have happened and left you scarred, that influences your mindset. So your mindset will be based on those things that happened to you. A breakthrough will happen only when you overcome the mental factors that hold you back. You achieve quiet state of mind and get the flexibility to bring back this quiet state of mind anytime you need. So it's not about having a fixed quiet state of mind. It's never going to happen because thoughts come and go. We don't need to keep them still. What we need to do, we need to flow with the thoughts, just like the river flows around the obstacles, and come back to the quiet state of mind over and over. So that is trainable and must be trained. It doesn't come by itself. You perform unaffected by excessive physical tension from emotional charge. We're not going to be just limp, dead bodies playing or doing anything else. But we're going to counteract the excessive physical tension by training to notice it and by training the mind to control it. So you don't overthink, you just do. That's how the great performances are made. It's very simple. You don't overthink. How not to overthink? You have to have less concepts and beliefs and memories in your mind because they come with emotional charges. So if you clear out the emotional charge, these memories and thoughts, they will be put back into oblivion. You won't even think about those things. That's how it feels when you let go of all your stuff, the garbage. You come out, your mind is Empty, you just do it and you enjoy yourself. That's the goal, actually. That's the optimization we all need and crave. Quiet state of mind. If you go and search for any tips for any sport, especially cricket, especially golf, especially Formula One, quiet state of mind, empty state of mind. So, what are we going to do here? I'm going to give you the gold, lots of it. How can we break through if you are scared? Only by letting go of fear. That's the gold. Letting go of fear creates a breakthrough. Always. Guaranteed. Why? Because letting go of fear uncovers natural confidence. Nothing else needs to be done. Don't you want a shortcut? Don't you want to be super duper very quickly? Or do you want to take time being that? Letting go of fear. Well, we have 52 weeks program to help you do that. And you can repeat it again, of course. So let's take a look at this quick. And I like both guys actually. I am a fan of Formula One because I like driving and I like the go-karts and driving fast. One is a world champion on the left and the other one is not. And the difference? Not the training, not so much the cars, it's the mental game. Charles is known to not being able to convert. That's actually the official words from the internet. And Max is a pro at converting. So he takes his positions and converts them into wins, while Charles does it extremely, extremely rarely. They're both rivals from young age. I'm sure they're friends as well. However, the difference in achievement is huge. Skills and training, same. Mentality and ability to handle pressure, different. One came to win and the other came to drive fast. Goals fulfilled, is this what you want? So I want to pause here and attract your attention to this. When you read and hear Max Verstappen, he says, I don't want to answer your questions. I came here to win. While if you listen to Charles Leclerc, he will tell you that I want to be the fastest man on the grid. Does he achieve that goal? Yes, he does, at huge cost. Sometimes he writes off the entire car, quite often actually, and he doesn't win because that's obviously not his main goal. And is he aware of that? I don't know. I really don't know because I personally haven't spoken to him and I would love to. But when someone like Max Verstappen comes out and says, my goal is to win, I came here to win, that is the right goal. And it feels right and it delivers what it says. So whenever you set goals, set the right goals. Do you want to drive fast? Or do you want to win? It could just depend on the situation. But in the situation of Formula One, what really matters is being a champion, winning. How to get what you want. Set correct goals first. And we have a video for you, free training video for you with a free PDF. So if you go into the link, you will see the free, like a mini compilation, a kit of all kinds of helpful resources. Amongst them, there is a PDF with a goals process as well as videos to help you go over your goals and set the correct goals. Clean out the emotional charge. So for that, you definitely need our program because you just don't know how to do it and you need to learn and understand how to do it. And then you will. So train awareness, that's the same thing. So by training awareness, we're clearing out the emotional charge in our online paid program. Act from awareness. So once you start to develop the awareness skills, then you have to start acting from them. And that's what we want you to become: empowered, self-sufficient, and the boss of yourself. And then keep going. Of course, success requires perseverance and resilience. So please train your mind with us. We can discuss a lot of things on the social side, but for me to help you really transform and take your mental game under control, I really have to help you do that. And unless we are in a situation where you are taking the program, being part of the program, I cannot really guarantee you are going to make a change just by listening to my videos, my training on the social side. So you can sign up. Sorry, I'll go back to that again. So you can sign up, and the links will be provided in the video description. There's the free course on the goals and the links to the program itself. We have options for the global side to pay monthly and one upfront payment, whichever way you choose. We would love to see you on this inside and would like to see you excel in our unique in the world and cutting edge program, available anytime you need it. And definitely no one else has a program like that. I know that because I've done a lot of programs with a lot of teachers, and I have to build up on the legacy of theirs. So I have to create something even better than what they had. So I believe that my program can deliver a lot of breakthroughs for you, because that was the original idea, to create breakthroughs in your life. So you can also watch the previous lesson, episode 3, on confidence. So we talked about confidence there, and that's on the channel in the same folder, free lessons. This is also a free lesson in the same playlist, Set Your Goals, and you will get an overview what to do with the PDF, and you can start right away setting your goals, crafting your vision, and planning the rest of your life, to be honest. That's the idea. And I have written a fun book, Transform Stress, Anxiety into Mental Strength and Success, because that's what we are all about in the Empowerment Club, online, social, and the paid program. So if you want to enjoy my personal stories and other topics of transformation, I also included my own photography, because I'm also an artist. You can purchase it on Amazon, on Kindle, or in hard copy for the global audience. We have lots of various resources on the channel. Take a look so you can watch it right there on the channel, right here, right where you are. And we have playlists, so check out our playlists. Our information is also organized by topics for your ease. And we come back to life is stress, stress is life. This is also where excitement comes from. And thank you for being here in the club. You are in the club by just being here, because the club is here. We would like to see you part of course, of empowermentclub.online and .in. And with this, I'm going to wrap up the subject of sports breakthroughs. You can come back to it anytime. I will mention about the free goal setting and emotional clearing kit, so you can access the link in the description below, and there you will find this PDF, the goals process. Vision, goals, action steps, action. So there are 6 pages. Each page goes through each step and the summary, so you can understand, and you can come back to it over and over. It takes kind of time to get it into your head, even for myself. And I also would like you to, work with it, not just read it, but work with it. And it's a continuous work, because goals change, vision changes, actions change. So the self-paced program to overcome stress, 52 weeks of empowerment. So you can take a screenshot of the codes for discounts that we are offering to you for both platforms. And for the time being, let's come back and do a little meditation and reflection. Let's first of all close our eyes and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, a little bit forcefully. And now that you have taken these three deep breaths, just let your breathing settle and flow smoothly. Slow, soft, smooth, and deep. Just let it be natural. And just let yourself take a few natural breaths. Notice how you start to relax in the body and in your mind. And notice how this relaxation is a wonderful feeling. After all the hard work you have done listening to the topic and trying to apply it to your life. Notice the gratitude and appreciation for this time spent on developing yourself and opening yourself towards maximizing your potential in this life. This life consists of goals, joy and sorrow, fun and hard work, achievements and setbacks. It is the yin and yang of life, the dynamic balance and flow of the ups and downs. But fundamentally, the mind is free from clutter, free from everything. And its nature is natural freedom, joy, confidence. The natural perfection is already there. God doesn't create imperfect things. Nature doesn't create imperfect things. And if you believe in karma, then it is assumed that every imperfection is transitory. The window is essentially clean and just needs dirt to be removed. This fundamental perfection is the fundamental empowerment. We empower ourselves by coming back to knowing that we are fundamentally perfect and we have fundamental confidence, joy that are present naturally underneath all of the temporary clouds of disturbance. And just for a while, notice that the space that your body occupies, wherever you are, is currently experiencing various sensations, various thoughts, sensations in the body and sensations in the mind. Notice how you are a living, flowing organism. You're ticking, you're functioning, you're never really still, but you are aware. But it's still the same you, being aware of the movement of everything, the movement of your perfections, the movement of awareness, the movement of itself. This being aware that you are aware of the sound, aware of smell, aware of physical sensations, aware of thoughts in your mind. That is the real you, your real confidence, your real home. The more you keep coming back to it, the more proficient you become at handling stress. Because stress is movement from this perspective. Be aware of movement and you become the pro of yourself and your game. Any game, any sport, business, performing on stage, anything else. Asking parents for money, asking boss for a pay rise, proposing to your girlfriend, or anything else requires that inner perfection to shine and give you the confidence that you already have. And just become aware of the space in your room and the space in the entire universe that surrounds you with all its chaos, its sounds, its news, and just let yourself feel the whole vast universe in front of you, at the back of you, on your left, on your right, above and below. Let your mind and your feeling go out to the most distant stars. Not that there is such a thing, but just imagine you're going, touching the stars. Touch the stars. And notice how everything is limitless. That is your mind. Your mind is limitless. And in this limitlessness lies relaxation, happiness, success in every endeavor. And now just come back to yourself. Open your eyes, rub your palms together, feel the warmth. You can even put it on your eyes and let your eyes feel the warmth of your palms. Breathe. And now that you're back, thank you very much for going on a space trip with me. I hope you feel good. I hope you got good information. I'm just going to check the chat for questions. And we don't have questions today, but that's okay. You can leave me the questions later. And if you have any topics, any suggestions, any questions, any requests, please put them into any video because the comments will pop up and I will notice them and I will reply. And I will mention the person who asks and let's all become empowered, feel better, feel great, achieve everything we want to achieve. And that's what we're here for. So if you would like to support our work, you can support us by buying a book, giving us a donation, by buying us a coffee, or you can purchase yourself a t-shirt. Thank you very much for that. And please subscribe if you haven't yet. We would appreciate your support to help us help more people with free education, mental coaching, and empowerment. Thank you for being here once again. And I'm going to let you go. So I'll see you again next time.